I asked for you to send me in your Football Manager accomplishments. Because by now I've done a lot of things in this game and it's time I start checking out what you guys have been up to. And you certainly didn't disappoint, from a very long Build a Nation save to a really short rise to the top. And we're starting with my old friend Ryan Cassidy, who sent this save in with Altınordu. Now if that name rings a bell, that's because Altınordu is the team in Turkey, I believe in the second division, who primarily focuses on fielding only Turkish players. And I know the league in Turkey is kind of restricted to playing an amount of Turkish players, but this team takes it to a new level. They're very much like Bilbao, but of course just with Turkish players and not just from the Basque country. So if I know Ryan Cassidy, it probably means he has done this challenge very well. And we're currently in 2032. For anybody who thinks, oh, who's right? Do you remember when I used to do a lot of tactic videos? Ryan Cassidy was my tactic guy. He was the guy who always used to provide me with unbelievable tactics. And this isn't going to be the only save on this video from Ryan. So let's take a look at Altınordu. And yes, as expected, he has won the Turkish League in 2032. But I hazard a guess that this wasn't no easy feat, because if we're looking at the history, yeah, this is the only time they have won it. They finished in third place, 2029 and 2030. And you think, well, that's not too difficult for, winning the league with Altınordu. What if you were only allowed to buy and use Turkish players? Because yes, this is almost a full Turkish team, and probably the only 2 or 3 players that are in there has a dual nationality of being Turkish. So we have this guy here, Babuşcu, who looks like he is a real player, quite good as well, 28, looks like one of the best players in the nation. Actually, there's 4. Yeah, there's 4 players. Every single one of these players probably has the other nationality as being Turkish, and they've just decided to declare as the other nation. So yeah, that's 3 out of 4, and the final one here, there we go, Turkish, all of them. So that is a full Turkish, technically, side winning the Turkish league, which is quite good, to be fair, because normally when you're in the league, there's a lot of players who come across from different nations, and you tend to get some of the best players in the world who also come across Beşiktaş, and managers, but Konstantin was there. Galatasaray has Buruk, and they have Malik Tillman in there, who's obviously a very good player from the USA on Football Manager. And Fenerbahce, who they've got? They've got the likes of Luis Suarez there. So this is probably been a really difficult challenge. Now, tactically, we know he provides some of the best tactics. He's gone for a favourite of mine, actually, here in a 4-2-3-1. Mine is normally slightly different. I tend to have the shadow striker in the middle. He's gone for 2 shadow strikers on the wing. And as you can see, he's locked in 2 players. So obviously he's very much like me. He locks in players to see if they can develop. And he seems to have done really well here. But history of how they have done, as an overview, you can see here. Right, so 22-23. They were relegated. I don't quite know when he started this. Maybe that's a good place to actually start how we're looking at what Ryan Cassidy has managed to do here, because as a manager profile, his history, job history, there we go. This is an easier way of looking at it. So he started the 22-23 season, finishing in second place, and it looks like he was in the 3rd tier of the Turkish league here. So we've gone up into the 2nd tier, where we finished 1st place in the 1st season, which is quite impressive, really. Getting promoted and then winning the league again, and then never finished below 8th place. In fact, I bet he was very annoyed with that 8th place finish there for Altınordu. But there we go. That's the first one done and dusted, 2032. So it took less than 10 seasons to win the Turkish league with only Turkish players. But each one gets more impressive as we go along. Now, of course, if you want to send me your saves for a future video, you can do. I've got a place in my Discord, and there's a link in the description for the Discord, so you can join that, where it says share your save in there. Get yourself like a Mediafire link or a WeTransfer link, put the save game file in that, and pop it in here and tell me why your video should be next in there. Better that, you can also follow me on Instagram or follow me on Twitter, which all the links are down below again, and dim me on one of them instead. Next up, we have Remo Ramotti, who is the manager of both Reading and Jamaica. Now, this save is the one that I was on about with a very fast rise to the top, because we were only in 2027 with Reading, and this save is absolutely bonkers. You can see he's been playing quite a lot of the games as well. I don't really care whether you play them or you simulate them like I do, as long as you're just enjoying the game. That's all that matters in my eyes. And what an achievement we have got on our hands here for Remo Ramotti, who has done unthinkable things with Reading. So starting off in Sky Bet League One a few seasons back now, probably here in the first season, we can see he was champions going up with Reading, 99 points, lovely stuff, happy days, very well done in that regard, fantastic in the first season. Everything's going as normal, and then the season after that, which would have been his season here, back-to-back promotion straight to the Premier League. What is happening? That is unbelievable achievement. 97 points, very good indeed, into, of course, the Premier League. And now, of course, we're going into the Premier League. Things could get very tricky. But in fact, he finished in 4th place in the first season. I mean, what kind of hoodoo stuff is this? This is like when my dad was in the Premier League on the race to the Premier in the first season. Just bang, straight in the Champions League. There you go. 73 points with Reading. Unbelievable. The following season, which is this season, wins the Premier League. 98 points. And it doesn't just stop there. Oh, no. No. He's gone on and won the treble. He beat Real Madrid in the final. Now, there is a caveat to this. I'll get to that in a minute. But we also won the FA Cup. We beat Chelsea in the final there, 4-2. Lovely stuff. The Champions League run itself, very good indeed. You're looking at the league phase here. Finished in the top 8. Well, finished as it only got beat by PSG. Drew to both German sides there. Nice few wins in the league phase, but skipping the playoff into the round of 16, we've got a win over Inter Milan there, 7-5 on aggregate in the round of 16. Quarterfinal knocking out Juve, so 2 Italian giants gone. Semi-final knocking out Arsenal to then face Real Madrid in the final, where you won 3-1. Incredible stuff. If we're looking at the Premier League as well, the likes of Erling Haaland is still here. We got Norman Bassett as the top scorer for Reading. Player of the match is Joseph Brecalo. Assist-wise as well, he also has the highest average rating. Now, I don't have to tell you that he has plugged in some unbelievable players, because Joseph Brecalo is a fairly bang average player. He's a very bang average player, in fact. I think he's nowhere near as good to win the treble. And Norman Bassett is a good striker, but I wouldn't look at him and go, Jesus, he's going to score me loads of goals. 22 years of age, still has yet to reach his full potential. I've never used him before, to be honest. Maybe I should. I think he starts off at Cannes there, so went to Genoa in this. He bought him this season for £10.5 million. 16 goals and 31 appearances with 2 assists is very good indeed. The transfer itself, I mean, he's even got Thiago Almeida coming in soon, which is brilliant. The transfer window he just had, from finishing in 4th in the Premier League, which was roughly a lot of the transfer window here, like there onwards, I think, yeah, is good. But then after was phenomenal. So these are the players he bought last summer to bring into the club. You can already see the likes of Adam Wharton's in there. Amad Diallo's great. And then topping off of that, £138 million extra, because he sold £116 million worth of players that way. Harvey Barnes left for £40 million. Tom McIntyre for £27 million. I've never even heard of him. He's gone for £27 million. Matt O'Reilly's gone for 12. Back to Brighton, or maybe he wasn't at Brighton at the start of this. Nathaniel Phillips. There's just loads. There's loads. And the players that he managed to bring in, to be honest, a goalkeeper for £43 million seems like a waste of money. Flynn Downs seems like a waste of money. The value that he managed to get in some of the players that have turned out to be amazing for him is Amad Diallo for £6 million. Bassett for £10 million. Fausto Vera for 13. Now, the caveat, I think he's using the very good World Cup tactic, the 4-2-3-1. By the looks of it, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it looks very similar to that, I think. Maybe a couple of little tweaks. So, obviously, it's kind of like, all right, well, you know it's going to be a good tactic. But still, this is a great overachievement in my eyes. Not to mention what he's managed to do with Jamaica. Now, They've gone on and won the North American Nations League. I don't know whether that's, a really prestigious cup competition that Canada and the US really try their hardest in, but Jamaica have won it anyway. USA have usually won it. It's only been around since 2021, and he's won it now with Jamaica. So that's fantastic stuff. They've done that on penalties against Canada. But again, it looks like it's very similar to the tactic that we used there. Probably is the same. What I do like about this is the players that are playing for Jamaica. Leon Bailey, Morgan Gibbs-White. I mean, actually playing for England now, but Ethan Pinnock. They've actually got a good team. They've got a good team. So, fair play. That's number 2 in the bag. Quite impressive with that little caveat, but there's 2 more that I need to show you. Our next one is sent in again by Ryan Cassidy, and this time it is with Sturm Graz. Now, of course, in Austria, Sturm Graz, one of the bigger teams, but not the biggest, I would say. This one, we are only in 2033, 10 seasons in. This is quite impressive as well. Let's look at the league form. We've got, of course, Salzburg Rapid Vienna in the league as well. Nowhere near us touching the title there from Ryan Cassidy. Fantastic stuff. And as you can see, complete domination in terms of the goals. We've got 3 players in there. Overall domination of the average rate in the top 5 are in there too. Player of the matches, that's harsh considering how well they've done. Clean sheets, he's got Dennis Seaman in goal. 14 clean sheets for him. Puts him at the top of that for the Golden Glove. And assist-wise, the top 3 assists. This is a phenomenal tactic. Well, to be honest, it makes sense. It's Ryan Cassidy, and it's different to the last one that we've seen. We've got an inverted winger there and a little bit of asymmetric going on in the midfield, but it is still kind of a 4-2-3-1, but obviously ramped up to the max because Ryan knows exactly what he's doing to create the best tactics, and he's always been good at doing so. Now, the players that he has got, you can see some of them are already outstanding, including this striker here from Paraguay, Cristobal Armoa. 5-star. He's got 52 goals in 50 appearances this season. He's a 24-year-old Paraguayan striker that he picked up for 575k. No editor was used, by the way, in this. 27 league goals alone, but 52 in total. Last season was 57 goals in 49 because he got 37 in 30. Last season was even more impressive. Actually, no, I take that back. The season before, 36 goals in 21 appearances. 44 in 31 in kind of like his his second full season, because it looks like he had a really bad injury there and only played 16 games. Still got 16 goals in that. But that guy's a monster. He is absolutely phenomenal. 6'3" as well. The physical attributes. I just love finding new gens like this who just blow you away and probably are the best player in the world. He is fantastic, and he's from Paraguay, a nation that doesn't necessarily always produce the best players in Football Manager. Absolutely love it. Does he have some kind of Ballon d'Or? Best player? FIFA Men's best player? I mean, sometimes they don't have it as... There we go, Ballon d'Or. He has Kylian Mbappe's won it like 7 years in a row. That's so unfair. It should be this guy. It should be this guy. And yes, I've kind of given it away. He's won the treble with Sturm Graz. He's won the Champions League with Sturm Graz. Beating Arsenal in the final... 6-1. That is amazing. I mean, how many years in a row did he win the league? So it's good to see he didn't fully dominate it, because when he took over, he won the first 2. Salzburg came back then. Rapid Vienna have been 3rd place for so long. And then he just won every single season since, including this season that we're in as well, because that's not included on that, because Rapid Vienna finally come out of Red Bull Salzburg's shadow there and finish in 2nd. But the rest of the team is really good as well. Burrito, who got 20 goals this season, he looks great. Plays in a shadow striker role type of thing. Adzic, 15 goals. He looks great as well. And you can see there's a mixture here of players who are new gens and now just experienced players in the game. So by age, you can see the likes of Lewis Ferguson's in there, William Pacho, Adam Wharton's in there. There's a couple of times that he's popped up and he's still very good. Dennis Seaman, of course, that we mentioned. A few players like Junior Krupi, one of my all-time favourite wonder kids in the game this year. He's at the club. Some players that you probably never heard of and you didn't realise could get that good. And that's the beauty about some of these saves, is you can find little hidden gems. And because you keep them and you play them, they turn into ballers like Burrito here. Very good player. Mendoza, 24 years of age. He is a new gen. He is playing at the back there. Really good player. Visconti, again. Fantastic stuff. But how has he done this in the Champions League? This is what I want to know. The league phase finished outside of the top 8, which meant he had to go into the knockout playoff round, knocking out Copenhagen. So we had a nice little easy tie there in the knockout playoff round. Newcastle next. That can be very tricky. Quarter-final, Real Madrid. Bang. Knocked Real Madrid out. See you later. Semi-final, Barcelona. Both El Clasico sides gone. And then defeating Arsenal in the final with a 6-1 scoreline. Absolutely superb. Now, the only downside, I think, is the finances in this, but there's no money in the league, is there? There's no money in the Austrian league. So what you kind of have to do is just keep winning in the Champions League and hope that you can build up enough of a reputation, because right now, I'm guessing the Bundesliga, the Austrian Bundesliga, it's down in 9th. Like, it's not a very reputable league. So to win the Champions League from 9th, or the 9th best league in Europe, is quite impressive, isn't it? Let's face it, that's very impressive. Won the cup as well. The treble is done. What you now need is obviously other teams. To build a nation side of it, you need other teams to do well. But if we're looking at build a nation, the next one is the one that you are waiting for. But very good from Ryan Cassidy, as expected. A cracking treble. Okay, last but not least, we are heading to Northern Ireland with Cliftonville, and this one was sent in by my friend Andrea Fabrizio Necci. Now, I've just gone by the team names. They might not actually be called that. That's just their profile name. But this one is a Build a Nation if I've ever seen it. It is phenomenal. Now, Necci here is in 2047. You can see games played. So he is actually playing it season by season. 1,705 games played. Games won, 1,386. That is some impressive win percentage of 81%. Only losing 10% of his games. Phenomenal. By the looks of it as well, he does all the media himself. The only thing is handling team discipline that he's low on. But this is really impressive because it's stuff that I can't do, unfortunately, because I'm constantly obviously trying to plug out as many saves as I possibly can. So I'm always simulating my seasons. This is just really impressive to see. Look at all the awards and trophies down here. It is absolutely mental. And how many times he's finished in first place and not been bored. So Sports Direct Premiership, which is the league that they are in, the past winners from the season he took over, he's won every single season. Every single season. But this is obviously where it gets more impressive, because in the Northern Irish League, they probably go to one of the lowest qualification stages to qualify for the Champions League. And I very much doubt a team from Northern Ireland has made it into the Champions League group stage for a long time at the very least. I can't remember a time where I've seen one of these teams actually reach a Champions League group stage. So it's quite impressive just to even get there. But it's even more impressive to win it. And Cliftonville here have won it twice. Yes. I mean, 2043 was the last time, which means it took 20 years, 20 seasons to win the Champions League with a team from Northern Ireland. And that is just bloody impressive, isn't it? I mean, we're looking at the history here. 2 times Champions League winners. Hasn't won a Europa League or Europa Conference League. And I'm probably guessing it's because once you've managed to get to a point where you can qualify for the Champions League, the new league format where you can't drop into the Europa League kind of shoehorns you into that competition only. Which, you know, is either a good or a bad thing, whatever way you look at it. Direct Premiership, that obviously they've won 29 times now, 25 cups. But this is just really impressive. And the team that he's got, multinational team, you can see. Any Irish players in there? It's a shame that there isn't in the first... Or is there? Maybe? That's Republic of Ireland as well. But Northern Ireland doesn't look like there's any teams or any players from that team in there. Now, we're rocking a 4-2-2-2 narrow. I don't really know much about this save. I don't know whether he's just changed it to this formation or this was what got him all the way. But some of the players that we've got here are rather impressive, and it looks like he's in the midst of building a new team to try and challenge for the Champions League. We've got a 20-year-old here, 21-year-old fullbacks as well. So we're looking like 19 and 20-year-old attacking midfielders. So they probably weren't around when we won the last Champions League. I don't know whether this is kind of... I mean, he's got £154 million in the budget. We're in July here, by the way. He's got stupid amounts in the budget. And it looks like he's just signing free transfers. Like, barely spent... He's selling more than what he's buying. So I'm curious as to players that he's getting rid of. Yeah, they look class. They look very good. Was he Irish? No, he was American. Michael Rogers, Welsh player. So we're selling players for a lot of money and buying players in that, you know, do not cost us much. We've got one where we've really spent money there. I mean, this guy here has joined the club. He's one of the fullbacks that he's picked up, £67 million. But on the outs, we've also made 239. So he's barely spent anything this season either, and sold a couple of players to the Rats of Rennes. He's also got attribute masking on, by the way, which is, again, more impressive. I don't play with attribute masking because I just dislike it. Again, pretty much covering his costs. Same here. Well, actually, no, £82 million, £32 million. So this is kind of like the building stage that we can see here. It's rather impressive, isn't it? And you go further and further back, you can kind of see where the money first started to make an impact, because here, £9 million, and this was nearly 10 seasons, over 10 seasons in, and he was still only spending, this is the 10th season, £10 million. So at this point, and he was selling 16, at this point, you're looking at a Build a Nation type of save, 9 seasons in, spending £13 million, £3 million, 8 seasons in. £2 million, £1 million, like barely spending a penny. It takes a lot of time and a lot of patience to do it, but this guy has it, and I bet he thoroughly enjoyed this save, because I know I would have. This is the type of save that I used to do before I made content, because obviously making content means I've had to change the way the type of saves I do, or, you know, every now and then I'll do a type of save like this where we have one goal, but you can't go too far, because either the video is going to be 4 hours long and it takes me too long to do, or nobody wants to sit through 40 years of a save season by season and watch it, because that's just not YouTube, unfortunately. So I love still seeing stuff like this. I think it's great. A Build a Nation save, but let's see finally then where the nation is. We beat around the bush enough. First off, let's start with the league. It's still only in 15th. We mentioned how good it was for Sturm Graz to win the Champions League in 9th. This league is in 15th. And that's quite impressive, to be honest. That is rather impressive. I mean, I wish it would show us the reputation, the history of it. You can't see that, unfortunately, but we're still nowhere near the Premier League in terms of reputation. So that's really good. But Northern Ireland as a nation, 49th. Now, obviously, the caveat to that is he wasn't necessarily building the nation of Northern Ireland, more the league, because there wasn't a lot of Northern Irish players in the league, that in the team side, that we could have seen. Obviously, there was some in there, but it doesn't look like he's really focused on youth. The youth recruitment is 5-star. Youth facilities 4.5. So he probably has been asking. Just Northern Ireland just sucks as like as new gens come through, unfortunately. So rather impressive save. Thank you very much for sending that in. Remember, if you want to send yours in, you can do so on my Discord, or DM me on Instagram or Twitter. Drop me a follow on Instagram as well. I really do appreciate it. Loads of people have been coming across recently and checking out the content there. Thank you very much to the 3 guys who sent me in saves, the 4 saves that we had a look at. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to do more like this, because I love diving into people's saves and seeing what you guys have been up to. So I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and check out this video on screen right now, because Surprise Shirts gave me a save, a bit of a challenge from the 3rd tier, and I could only sign new gens.